Shalom, Israel. You better Asher. Today, it happened. You should already know what happened. You should be down in your mind. You should not know. You shouldn't be, what's this man talking about? Like, what do you mean? You should already know what happened. You should already know what happened. If you've been watching the prophecy, if you turned on the news today, you turn on your TV, you should know what happened. Russia invaded Ukraine. Now that's a sign of that time. If I ever seen that, now, the missiles launching, tanks rolling in, helicopters going across the sky, people screaming, fleeing the country, people dying. Is that not something of the signs of end times? And I don't know what else. Well, let me get this real quick. Well, before they call on Yahweh, by Shemashah Balak Shah, the praise and glorification to Yahweh. No minds remain, the earth will sing the wind, and put lots will sing the field, lost at the end. By Shemashah Balak Shah, became my savior, the high priest of Melchizedek, my beloved. When the true and righteous beloved Father, of course, when the Goning Father, when the mighty God, when the Prince of Righteousness peace, when the Rugged Yahweh, Rugged Shah, Hallelujah, 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 and Amen. Let's get into it. Like in second address. Cause this is the time to be alive. All this process in the beginning. Esdras, damn, Paul, the apostles, Yahushua. Everyone been waiting for this time. Everyone been waiting to see this day. Moses, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Malachi, all the prophets, all the men of the word, all the men of the Lord have been waiting for this one day, waiting for a day like this to happen, where chaos and uproars in the people could stir and begin momentum. Look at it right here. The second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure down the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So that's the time. You can't see by now what the prophecies are unfolding before your eyes. Before your eyes. I'm dropping my mic over here, man. I'm dropping my mic and all this stuff. But before your eyes, it's happening. The prophecies are unfolding. War is beginning to happen on a mass scale, and the nations are confused, and nature and sedition. I need to finish it first and second address, then I'll go to the other one. The point is, sedition and uproar in the people and chaos is happening in this world. Madness and the talents of the end in full effect. Now, let me finish this real quick. Now I'll make my next point. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, in the world, then shall thou understand, and the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. That's now. The uproars of the people are people fleeing, people being scared, people in fear, people dying in the streets, people getting shot, killed, blown up. I believe there's already martial law in Ukraine and then one other city as well. But the point is, there's already martial law there. Russia's already going in deep. Sanctions are flying. Now it's confused. madness among people. Now, are you ready for this? Have you been watching? Have you been making yourself spiritually ready for this? Have you been spiritually been ready for these last days, for these last times? Are you not ready? Like, you're not ready or prepared in your mind for this stuff, you're not gonna make it, to say the least. And you're not fully developed and cared in this word and trying to get yourself right now, but being dawdling and wasting your time in vanity foolishness, you're not gonna make it, to say the least. Because 2 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 14, verse 13 actually. 2 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore set thy house in order, and reprove thy people, cover such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Well, now this is the time. You see it. You see this is the end times. You see these are the last days. You see World War III is up. You see him down the block. He's right on the block. Right on the damn. He's not even on the corner. He's halfway there. He's a quarter way down the block. And he's coming up fast. He's running actually. Sprint like a damn madman. Now what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay weak? Are you gonna stay feeling minded and say, well, I know I see that Ukraine and Russia are in bad situations and the nations are all in uproar. They're madness in the streets, in the valleys, in the mountains, in the plains. I'm just gonna chill in the game. Forget trying to read. Forget trying to pray. Forget trying to fast. Forget trying to make myself right with the Lord. Instead, I'm just gonna chill in the game all day and be comfortable in these last days. Be comfortable and relax. And now you realize that you being comfortable and relaxed, that'll cause you to be dead. That'll cause you to be dead. You may be comfortable and relaxed now. When martial law hits America, and there's war on a mass scale on here in this land, these wicked damn Edomites are knocking at your door, breaking it down, busting into the windows, kicking down your damn back porch, destroying you. Then will you be comfortable? Will you be comfortable then? Trying to get comfortable now. Will you be comfortable then? When you're damn homeless in the streets, in the mist? Well, I don't know when it's gonna happen exactly, but it could be done in the dead of winter. It could be in December. It could be freezing cold. It could be in the middle of summer. Blazing heat. You got no water, no food. You may not even have clothes on. Maybe you just got out of bed and ran out. You got no clothes, and the food, and the water. You got no reliance. You got no one to go to. You can't call anyone. People are scattering and running away, hiding from the being military walking down the street. And what are you gonna do? You can't call on the Lord. The Lord not gonna deal with you. If you didn't take the time to give back and get right with Him, you said that with wickedness, or vanity, and foolishness, you gave into the wickedness of the flesh and the deceitfulness of life and temptation, instead of getting yourself right with the Lord. Mess. Make yourself a due offering and due diligence for the Lord's sake. But reading on, like go for indeed, moral thoughts, get away the birds of man, put on now the weak nature. Like so now not the time to be weak. Now not the time to be faint-hearted. Now not the time to be scared. Saying like, I don't want a war. I don't want World War III. Man, I don't like sitting on my game. I don't like sitting on the couch all day. I don't like eating fast food. I like ordering deep. She's like, I like ordering deep dish pizzas. I like these things of this world. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to do that. Do I have to? If you're thinking like that, you're going to be destroyed. If you're thinking that I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to serve for the Lord's sake. I don't want to go through a person. Whatever. If you're saying you don't want to go through persecution and affliction for the Lord's sake, then you're going off. At least. You're going off. You don't want to be afflicted for the Lord's sake. You don't want to make your calling and election like you don't want to make your calling and election for the Lord. Like you don't want to make your calling and election for the Lord. You just want to be comfortable and relax all day and not want to go through affliction for the Lord's sake and give yourself up for the Lord's sake and put your life behind for the Lord's sake, then you're going off. You need to rebuke yourself immediately. Because in order to get to reign, only be a ruler in the kingdom of heaven, you must suffer. You get to hear. The 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. If we suffer, we also shall reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us. So in order for us to reign with Yahushua, in order for us to be a ruler in the kingdom of heaven, get the highest place, get the final life, you must go through suffering. You must go through suffering. You must go through persecution and affliction. Look at it over here in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. Ye and all the living godly in the Mashiach Yahushua shall suffer persecution. That's plain. You're going to suffer persecution in this truth. You're going to. If you want to live righteously in this truth, you want to be a man or a woman of the Lord, then you're going to suffer persecution. Now, of course, it's up to the Lord how much suffering you go through. Some brother may get little suffering. Some brother just may be well off during Jacob's trouble. Some brother may get hard, may get afflicted consistently, day in, day out. Maybe barely living, barely making enough food, running day in, day out, in the military, wicked spirits all over the place. You know, to seduce him and trick him and tempt him and destroy him these last days. Like seriously, the elect are gonna go through the worst of stuff. But the point is, it's up to the Lord how much suffering you go through. But at the end of all, you're gonna go suffer. You're gonna get suffering, and it's true. Are you gonna get ready for that? Are you gonna get spiritually ready for that? Are you gonna get spiritually ready for get tempted, get afflicted, get chastised, get beaten down, probably even killed? Are you ready for that? Or will you value your life more than the Lord? Will you put your life before the Lord or after the Lord? Will you give up yourself for the Lord's sake, or will you stay stagnant? I think we're caring for the flesh and for righteousness, then for righteousness. This is Revelation chapter 12 verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. They loved not their lives unto the death. They can't love your lives to the death. If you want to be part with Yahushua, you can't love your life to the death. If he didn't, why should you? Oh, I'm going to get this real quick in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 1. If Yahushua didn't love his life to death, why should you? Should like you'll not roll that 9 verse 1. If Romans chapter 11 verse 1. Like second. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of a Mashiach. Now Paul didn't care about his life either. Paul went through affliction. Paul went through temptation. Paul went through all sorts of distress and madnesses. Persecuted, beat down, stoned, lost at sea, stranded, starved. Then all sorts of affliction and distress Paul went through. And you gotta be like Paul in this truth. You need to willingly give yourself up to affliction and distress for the Lord's sake, and continue to endure for it for the Lord's sake, and not give up. But Paul didn't give up. Paul didn't give up when he knew he was going to get persecuted, when he knew he was going to get beat down, when he knew he was going to get taken into bondage. Paul didn't give up. Paul stayed diligent. Paul stayed firm, believing, and truthful for the Lord's sake. Like it is Acts chapter 21, starting verse. Let's start verse 10. And as we tarried there many days, there came down from Judea a certain prophet named Agabus. And when he would come unto us, he took Paul's girdle and bound him, and bound his own hands and feet, and said, Thus saith the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, thus saith the Holy Spirit, so shall the Jews at Jerusalem bind the man that owneth this garment, owneth this girdle, and shall deliver him into the hands of the Gentiles. So Agabus kind of grabbed Paul up. And kind of grabbed Paul up and said, "Where owns this garment gonna get jammed up by the Jews, then get delivered into the Gentiles." Now, normal Jake used to give up, like, damn, I'm getting jammed up by the Jews, then I'm gonna get delivered to the Gentiles? I don't want to do that. Nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to go through affliction. I want to get distressed for the Lord's sake. Nah, I just go home. Nah, I go somewhere else. Nah, this is too dangerous for me. It's too stressful. You can't be like that. Paul was like that. Did Paul give up when he heard that? That he knew that he was going to get afflicted? That he knew he had to get persecuted by the Jews and by the Gentiles? Did Paul give up? He give in to temptation, the deceit, and the wickedness of the flesh? Let's see. Like it. And when we heard these things, both we and they of that place besought him not to go up to Jerusalem. So those are demons. Those trying to tempt you, saying, "Oh, you don't have to do that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. No, you shouldn't do that for the Lord's sake. No. Your life is more better than that. Your life is more worth than doing the. Your life is more worth than doing the offering to the Lord." That's what those demons would tell you. It's saying, man, you really want to put yourself in that risk? Think about your life. What about your heart? What about what you think? What about what you feel? You shouldn't think that. It's about what the Lord thinks. What the Lord doesn't do. What the Lord wants you to do. That's what truly matters. Not what your flesh think, not what your friends think, not what your spirits in the air think, but what the Lord thinks. And the Lord wants you to do the work, no matter what happens. Like it. Reading on, then Paul answered, "What mean ye to weep and to break my heart? For I am ready not to be bound only, but also to die at Jerusalem for the name of the Lord Yahushua." So Paul was ready to die for the Lord's sake. And you need to be the same. You shouldn't be scared that you get locked up in the FEMA camp. You shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't be scared no matter how much affliction you go through. You shouldn't be scared if you literally get killed. Now, of course, I know that the flesh will be scared. The flesh will be weak. The flesh be carnal and wicked. But spiritually, you shouldn't be scared. Spiritually, you shouldn't be saying madness or wickedness in the mind. Spiritually, you should be firm and diligent for the Lord's sake, casting out demons repeatedly over and over again, and staying firm and locked for the Lord, and not giving in to the deceitfulness of the flesh. Your flesh may be shaking, be nervous and scared as hell. You may be quivering literally. You may be literally quivering. You're about to be brought to the guillotine, and you're quivering literally. Your body may be shaking. Hands may get all over the place. Heart thumping. Spirits telling you in your head to give up and forsake the Lord. Sin. Go eat that pork and be a good boy and live another day. That's what those spirits may be telling you. Doesn't mean go into your head, go into your mind. Just give up. Give up. Give up. Give up. Those wicked things may be going to your head during that time. We need to be locked in the spirit. You should know that it's Satan. You should know that that's demons trying to persuade you and not do the will of the Lord and not sacrifice yourself for your Lord's sake and become a martyr for him. Because even though you die in the flesh, you have a greater reward in the kingdom of heaven. Even though your flesh perish, and gets destroyed, you still have a greater reward in the kingdom of heaven, regardless. Because you died for the Lord's sake. And Lord's not gonna just watch you die and I will reward you. Watch you die for his sake, magnifying him, glorifying him, like you. Anyway, Lord not gonna see you just die for his sake, magnifying, glorifying him to the very end. You say, nah, that could help him. Nah, I'm not gonna give him a reward for his due diligence, his service to me. Nah. Lord's not gonna do this. The Lord's not Jake. The Lord's not gonna just do things, put you through all sorts of affliction and distress, and you still remain faithful to him. And at the end of it all, he's not gonna reward you. Which is one big ruse to see you die for his sake. And just say, you died. And then, I don't know, just cast you aside and win 2/3 or something. Lord's not gonna do that. If you die for the Lord's sake and with an honest and sincere heart for him, then you're gonna get rewarded. Let me get this real quick in Book of Hebrews. Just like, yeah. Book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10. For God not unrighteous, forget your works and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name, which ye have shewed to his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. Like it. The Lord's not going to forget your works. The things you did for his sake, he can remember that. How can you forget? How can you forget your due offerings to him? How can you forget all your diligence and your love that you shewed unto him, and how you made faithful to him to the end, and how you believing, and how you made working towards him? How can the Lord forget that? Now of course, the Lord can ultimately do what he wants, but the point is, that'll be unrighteous at the end. Not to give righteous judgment to those who have loved you. As they cast them aside as nothing, and I will warn them neither in the spirit nor in the flesh. Now, of course, the Lord can do what he wants, of course, no. But the Lord said himself that he's a just God. So you're bound to be rewarded in the end if you do the righteous works and keep the faith to the end. Because Yahweh said himself in Matthew chapter 24 verse 13. Yahweh shall say himself in Matthew 24 and 13. I just quote it, but here shall like you. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Now, was Yahweh shall lying there? If you endure to the end and you don't get saved, was Yahweh shall lying? Impossible. Yahweh shall can't lie. The point is, Yahweh wasn't lying there. You're going to get saved in the end as you endure to the end. That's a fact, and that's truth right there. So you got to believe that or you don't. Are you going to believe you're going to be saved in the last days? Are you going to die for the Lord's sake, knowing that you'll be saved in our life? Knowing that no matter what happens, You'll be saved regardless of what happens, that you endured to the end, that you gave up your life and sacrificed your flesh for the Lord's sake. You committed the same righteous work that Yahushua did. You became a martyr for the Lord. You get to the second Maccabees. You gotta believe this thing. You gotta believe that you're gonna get saved in the last days. You gotta believe that you can endure to the end and make it in the last days. Because if you don't, then you're never gonna get saved. You can't get saved if you don't believe. So, she like feels strong. Yeah, there you go. It was the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 26. But though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. So, no matter if you even give yourself up, no matter if you even forsake the faith and decide to live in our day, you're still not going to escape the Lord. The Lord is going to catch up with you eventually, whether by nuclear destruction or chariot fire, or whatever death the Lord had planned out for you. The Lord is going to catch up with you. If you decide to be carnal and weak-minded and wicked and deny Him for the sake of your flesh, the sake of the body, the sake of the mind, the sake of the temptations of demons and wicked spirits, you, instead of continuing for the Lord's sake, gave up. You gave in. You settled down to wickedness. You settled down to deceit and the folly of the head in exchange for another day of living. Instead of eternal life, another day. Instead of living thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, another day. Is that worth it? Of course it's not. Reading on, wherefore now manfully changing this life, I will shew myself such as one of my age requireth. She like, and leave a noble example is such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws, and when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. So you need to be ready. You need to be willing to die courageously and honorably for the Lord's sake. You need to be willing to willingly die for the laws such as commandments. The same laws that said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. Those same laws you need to die for. And you believe in them. You have faith in them. And faith that if you keep those laws, if you keep those statutes and commandments and love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul to the very end, you're going to be saved out of the wicked world and the wicked life. Reading back to 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, verse 15 again. Lucky. 2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 15. It says, "Side the slaughter most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." So you shouldn't be caring about this world, nor this life, nor the wicked things of this world, or the wicked things of this life. You shouldn't be dawdling upon them. We should be trying to haste to get away. You know why? For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. The greater evils are going to be worse. Greater evils than Russia invading Ukraine are going to happen. Greater evils. More things going to come. China's going to invade Taiwan. We're already hearing reports that China moving into Taiwan now. But when, of course, the next big thing, China invades Taiwan, as Russia invades Ukraine, and all madness will across the earth, will across the four corners of the earth, and no one knows what to do. Lo and of course at the next step. Lo and of course the next thing in the Lord's plan happen. Of course I don't know. Nor will I know till that time arrives. The Lord will, of course. Regardless to say, Lord, of course, you're edified. Lord, of course, well, let me get one last piece up. In 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 34, he said, now for the times that are past, you think vain things, that thou mayest not hasten for the latter times. Don't be thinking about vanity and foolishness these last days. Do not realize that you're living in the last days, and this world is going to be destroyed. But Lord, and of course, you guys keeping the right. Lord, and of course, is we're keeping the law, statutes, commandments. Lord, of course, you guys are keeping the due diligence. You give your due offering to the Lord. And Lord, of course, you're putting the Lord first above all things, before your flesh, before the matters of this world, for your life itself. Nobody put the Lord before it all, and rely on it, and continue with it, even past your death. Regardless of saying, call Yahweh, bless him, Mashak Malak Yoshua, with the praise and glorification to Yahweh, nobody's creating, heaven and earth, creative things are in, with a lot of things filled, lost to the end. Mashak Mashak Malak Yoshua, make him my Savior, the high priest, my Chedek, my beloved, one true and righteous, beloved Father, of course, the governing Father, with the mighty God, with the Prince of righteousness and peace, with the Barak Yahweh, Barak Yoshua, hallelujah, 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 and amen. Shalom.